Comcast Cable Vision Channel 43 presents high school baseball. Today, it's the South Jersey Parochial B Championships as the Gloucester Catholic Rams take on the St. Brothers Cracky Roses. Hello again, everyone. Rob Grist along with my partner, Shawn Leary. And Shawn, beautiful day for baseball right here in Washington Township in southern New Jersey. Of course, Gloucester Catholic takes on St. Rose. Gloucester Catholic has been here each of the last 3 years. St. Rose hasn't been here for a while. In fact, the last time they were here, they lost to Gloucester Catholic in 1995. St. Rose came down to this particular finals, the Parochial B finals, and lost to Gloucester Catholic 11-3. They haven't been in the big game, whereas Gloucester Catholic, it seems to get here year in and year out. Of course, Gloucester Catholic coming off a big Diamond Classic tournament win. Anytime you talk about championships, though, you have to talk about pitching. First, let's talk about St. Rose. On the mound, Chris Benigno. He's a good one. Chris Benigno, next year, he's going on to the Arabian. Yes, his out pitch is his fastball. Been really effective in the semifinal game against Sacred Heart. He threw in 2 hitters, so he comes up and rises in big games himself. Well, another person that comes up and rises in big games is Jeff Mazzola. Mazzola looking at a couple of different schools. In fact, Coach Barton just said that he is one of the most dominating pitchers he has ever had at Gloucester Catholic, and that's certainly saying something. Yeah, the most amazing thing about Jeff Mazzola this year is he's 7-0. Those wins are quality wins against very big opponents. So he's pitching in the big game. It's going to be Benigno against Mazzola. I think the person who is able to pitch strikes and get the ball over the plate is probably going to have the advantage here today. Well, there's not too many games bigger than this one, and we'll have it for you right after this here on Comcast Cable Vision, Channel 43. Look. Welcome back to Washington Township High School, South Jersey Parochial B Championship Finals here. Gloucester Catholic lost the coin toss. They will be at the plate first, and leading off will be Brad Daniels. First pitch from Benigno. Through strike 0-1. Benigno on the year, as we spoke about, very successful, and of course the number one pitcher coming into the year, a record of 7-2, 42 strikeouts and 57 innings. Fastball misses low, and ball and 1 strike. You think nothing, 3-0 win over Sacred Heart. It's the 2-hitter. Curveball misses away. 2 balls and 1 strike to Daniels. Daniels on the season hitting 308. Does have 1 home run and 9 extra base hits. 2-1 delivery from Benigno. Fastball struck up the middle for a base. That was a fastball. Benigno got it up a little bit. Daniels able to turn loose on it, back through the middle. Get something started here for Gloucester Catholic. One of the things that Coach Mark McInerney's talked about for St. Rose was making sure that they relax, particularly in the first inning, trying to get out of this first inning successfully. And now they're going to face one of Gloucester Catholic's top hitters, Claudia Chicago. Howard swears the bunt, takes low for a ball, 1 ball, no strikes. Brian Scott, he doesn't look like a guy who really struck one out of the yard, but can he turn one? I could vouch for that. Scott, just over 100 career hits here at Gloucester Catholic. 1-0 pitch, off goes Daniels, called for a strike, thrown down to second base, not in time. Daniels with a stolen base here for the Rams of Gloucester Catholic. Yeah, Joe Gagel really had no shot as Daniels got an incredible jump. Benigno really didn't look back over there. On that pitch, Daniels able to steal that easily. Daniels with his 22nd steal of the season, far outpacing the rest of his teammates. Look, Benigno now. 1-1 delivery. Chicate squares, nice bunt down third base, and it will go foul. Which means Tyrell will pick that up. 1 ball and 2 strikes here. The dimensions at Washington Township. It's relatively tight down the lines, only 300 feet. Power alley's also relatively short at 355, 375 to straight center field. Well, I think I could even jump one out of here down that 3 on that left field line. Is that with your 3-wood or your drive? You got to pull up the drive on that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes here. Seconded. Fastball misses up, slippers, 2 balls, 2 strikes. You a senior headed to Moravian College. He's upstate Pennsylvania. Daniels can serve them lead at second base. Throw back to second, not in time. Chris Husko, Russ's leadoff hitter, playing second. He's there at one. Was back in plenty of time. Right now, at shortstop, Daniels. Good second there. He takes off for third base. The throw's in the park. The throw down to third base. Gets through to the left fielder. Coming off Daniels, who scores standing up. Just like Catholic is on top, 1-0. Aaron throw there by Gang. There you see the speed of Daniels. Really hurting St. Rose. I always like that play. After the pitcher turns him, throws to second base. Chances are he's not going to be paying too much attention. He thinks he's already done that job by wheeling around and throwing back to second to keep Daniels close. But of course, Dennis Barth, really a genius studying this game. Turns Daniels loose and manufactures a quick run here for Gloucester Catholic. Well, this is exactly what Coach McInerney did not want here. One of the keys against the punters in the game is that the Union must throw strikes. He walks Giucante. Bulldogs dosing him at 1-2. Ends up drawing 3 straight balls. First base down in time. And that'll bring up just another of the 5 hitters on this Gloucester Catholic team, Mike Velasco. Velasco hitting 3-9. 3 home runs. Second on the team in hits with 40. Makes the team 42 RBIs. That's some lofty numbers there. This lefty has got open lefty between first and second. Giucante takes off for second base, and he will go in standing up. It's going to be on to the races today for these Gloucester Catholic Rams. They've scouted St. Rose to see that they can steal on it. Smart taking advantage early on. This one. That is fine stepping. Keep these Rams honest. Pitch. Alaska tries to lay one down, fouls it back. You see Riddle, Ingles, man, he's not having a good first inning so far. Not even really to even get a chance to throw the runners out. Both runners, Daniels and Sakanti, had great leads and great jumps. Steal their bases. Alaska on Sunday in the Diamond Classic in the 2 games. He had the 2-out hit the 7th inning to tie for Gloucester Catholic in the championship game versus Audubon. Went 7 for 8 on the day. Throws pitches out here. Alaska tying that up, as I mentioned, with a 2-out hit. Of course, Gloucester Catholic went on to win that in extra innings. Go back to Friedel at shortstop, and become with 2 strikes here to Velasco. And what's surprising, Sean, is the leads have been relatively conservative, and yet they're still stealing bases rather easily. Yeah, you're certainly right. The leads aren't huge, but they're able to get good jumps. Fastball line into shallow right field. Coming on, it's Pat Newton. He'll be under it for the first out. Tagging up, it's Sakante. Bit of a surprise that he slides it safely. That's just great hustle. I think Pat Newton kind of nonchalant it, not expecting Sakante to tag up on such a shallow fly ball. Takes advantage, and just like that, again has a runner at third base. Outright being the score here. A ground ball up the middle with the St. Bruce defense playing back. Making Gloucester Catholic on top by 2. They're coming and running here, running out of the gates of the Rams. That ball was shallow, and not only Newt was charging the ball, so he had his momentum coming in. I guess I'm kind of surprised in this county running. Yeah, it doesn't get any easier for City Rose. This the steps in Mike Ritchie. She got his way to Rowan University. 5-19. Gloucester Catholic Rams. It's very selective. Don't want to get ready. Joe Liam coming behind him. At least you can take double play and try to get out of the inning, only giving up the 1 run. Balls and no strikes here to reach the state player, likely another All-State player this season. So on this, 2 balls and 1 strike. 6 home runs. Area leaders. Justin Porter, who is Gloucester County's top leader. 8 home runs for Williamsdale. Pot pitch, fastball misses 3 and tight. 3 balls and 1 strike. Everything has been high all around the letter so far. Not a big problem. Doesn't throw very hard. He throws probably in the upper 70s. He's on a 3-1 pitch fastball by Ripchin. That against very cheap and she dials it off. Talked about how important it was to limit Gloucester Catholic here in the first inning. Once they get a lead on you, they really start getting the momentum going, especially when there's all pitching, even when they get too far behind. Ball swung out at best. So Benigno comes up big in the spot, striking out. 1 out, now 2 down. That's an excellent job by Benigno on the mound. Going everything high. Did give him a pitch to hit with a 2-strike count, 1 strike count, and then comes back with the curveball and just lays it in there. Joe Liam takes the first pitch for a strike. Liam coming into this game hitting .353. Coach gives forward. Great things to see about Liam. In fact, said he was probably the best, perhaps, in the history of Gloucester. Some outstanding athletes here. If you remember Liam during the football season, he was a wide receiver and one of the best in the area. Great hands. Away. That's what he mentioned. Liam was football. Played youth soccer. Let's own your body. Play football in college, you step up that next level. 1 good hit. It makes you think, I wish I was on the diamond again. Good question. An outstanding athlete like Liam has that option, that choice. Ridge ball found. Bolts here. It's a true Lamb. Nice day today. We're supposed to get around 80 degrees. Perfect baseball weather. A lot better than that game we did on Friday at the Raid. Curveball again. Just wasted down the right field line. Of course, this is the way that you want it, should. Most games, I the other day, watching the 3 championship game over at Campbell's Field, watching it rain intermittently. But fortunately, I don't think it was really. I didn't seem to play too much of a factor. Nice, great season for Tim Taylor. You got to be pretty happy for him. A really nice guy, coaching at Denver. The outstanding season. They get to the Group 3 championship game against Top River South. But it really was a nice game. We enjoyed not only being there, but enjoying that type of game. The game went along quickly, well played defensively. Just the difference in that game was the big hits. And that's what you might see here with 2 pitchers. Guys who can come up with the big hits in this game. They make the difference. Now full to Joe Lamb. Benigno curveball misses low and away. And again, you see Benigno walking the batter that he had on the ropes at 1-2. And he took 7 base, but 3 strange at bat so far in this inning. Brian Conti and Joe Lamb. He looks like he's coming out. So comes out strong against him, gets him down to 1-2, and ends up walking to him. And Blake Ritchie getting behind a dangerous hitter, throwing a fastball, and wasn't able to get around on it. They call him back with a nice curve to get the second out of the inning there with runners at the corners. Fastball. Throw back to the pitcher. Nothing doing here. There was simply take second base. Of course, playing ice ball in the first and third play, that tends to be dangerous. 2 runners in scoring position, Fastball for a strike. Nice pitch there, a fastball in the outside quarter. That's his name. Brennan Butter. And one thing about Benigno is we talked about his speed. He doesn't have a great deal of velocity, but he pitches his corners well. He hits his spots, and he has different movements on his fastball. And Benigno strikes out Boyer on 3 straight to end the inning, gets himself out of a jam. for Gloucester Catholic. He does score the top half of the first. So after a one-half inning, Gloucester Catholic on top of St. Rose, 1-0 on Comcast Cablevision, Channel 43. Welcome back to Washington Township High School. Gloucester Catholic on top of St. Rose, 1-0. Rob Christ, along with Shawn Leary, happy to bring you the South Jersey Parochial B Championship game from Washington Township in Palmer. And then I'm sorry, getting a good look at the flag right there. Not going to play too much of a factor. On the hill, as we mentioned previously, Jet Mazzola. Mazzola comes into the game, the 7-2 record, and has been very effective with 1.57 earned run average, 78 strikeouts, and just 23 walks. Almost a 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Leading off here for St. Rose, Chris Pusko, the second baseman, hitting at 359 on the season. This is upstairs. 1-0. You can see Mazzola with appreciably more velocity than he. So first strike, the count evens at 1. Mazzola looking at a few schools. Fairleigh Dickinson and Albany amongst them. Pick of Mazzola. It's off for a strike. All into strikes. Mazzola throws this small curveball change. Throw a splitter on occasion. Tops out mid to upper 80s. 1-2 pitch. Curveball was headworking. Behind us, I think. I was reaching, and I thought I might have had a shot well after the bets there. Otherwise, I would have been after. Of course, I ended up having this headset on. It probably 1-2 pitch. Fastball. Popped up. Play cheese. Solon. He just wins. It's over against Salem. No, counting for. I want to say Salem and Clayton. Teams that have been struggling the last couple of years. When you look at his other wins, really quality opponents. Shawnee, Jurek, Steiner. Rams came back and won that game 9-6. St. Augustine, Washington Township, all against 5 really strong opponents. Mazzola, quickly 2 fastballs. Count evens at 1-1. Frank Catalana, the center fielder, steps in. 380 on the year. Swings and misses at the high. All of 2 strikes. Same time, like, so it works quickly. Oh, sweet miss there is offers at the 1-2 curveball. Quickly 2 outs here for St. Rose. He is such a tough pitcher because his fastball moves in there, and then he has that curveball, and that's one of the best curveballs that you're going to see in high school. He really just drops right off. I'll bring up Isaac Friedel. He'll take a curveball for a strike. 0-1. Friedel is just a junior. I'll tell you what, Friedel 8-1 on the mound this year. He's that number 2 pitcher. Fastball swung and missed. Quickly ahead is Mazzola. Similar to Friedel. We typically see teams like St. Rose that have tough pitchers that are just outstanding in games like this, in championship games. It's tough to go with one particular pitcher. You see the difference this year with like Delcy, who had Frank Filatowski, who had just an outstanding season. He couldn't get his team over the hump. Friedel wastes one down the right field side. Friedel hitting at 5.06 during the season. I tell you what, Mazzola works so quickly and even this. And that's, as you said, not only is it keep its defenders on the tails, but it does give the hitters really time to settle in there. They're immediately trying to get back into that box, get their feet set, and they have a pitch coming right out. They're time to really think. Curveball misses tonight. Count evens. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Friedel. Fastball bound down right field. And get out of play. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes here to Isaac Friedel, just a junior. It's a play a line through victor. 5 home runs for the St. Rose team on the season. Contrast many Gloucester Catholic players. Curveball swung on and lined softly into the shortstop, Joe Lamb, to end the inning. So it's 3 up and 3 down here for St. Rose. And after one complete, Gloucester Catholic on top of St. Rose, 1-0 here on Comcast Cable Channel 43. Welcome back to Washington Township High School. Gloucester Catholic on top. St. Rose 1-0 here, leading off things for Gloucester Catholic. Cleo Davis, the first baseman. His first pitch is a fastball downstairs. 1-0. Davis on the year, hitting just 260. One of the lower averages on this Gloucester Catholic team. Hit by the fastball from Benigno, and again, Coach Mark McInerney has to be scratching his head because it's a beautiful base runners on for this Gloucester Catholic team. Certainly correct on that. Once Gloucester Catholic starts smelling blood, they really like to go after it. Getting the lead off Peter on. That's what I was trying to lead to in the opener. Pinch runner now for Gloucester Catholic coming in. It's actually a courtesy run then. He's the first baseman, Davis, so that would be a pinch runner. Of course, in high school baseball, you have a courtesy runner as opposed to a pitch runner, where he's not in count, or less as an insertion into the lineup. But here, that is not the case. Number 5 is Milianto. For first base, back just in time. I'll tell you what, as you see at the plate is Clown, and Clown is absolutely gigantic. He's a quarterback for the starting team. He's being recruited by some big schools. 6'5", 220 pounds. His first name shouldn't be Jameson, it should be Cirrus. Cirrus Cloud, man. Cirrus Cloud. That's like his own weapon pattern to the plate. He swings the bat. Very imposing up there. He can continue to work on the base runner. First pitch is a strike here to Cloud. Cloud coming into this game hitting it on the floor, which Johnny runs. Highly excited about him this year for Gloucester Catholic, not only for the baseball team, but next year as a senior, coming into a senior season as the quarterback. 7 foot. Could be. That's one of the things that strikes you when you look at these two teams. Gloucester Catholic is so much larger than the St. Rose team. And yet, they demonstrated their good speed last inning. As you look down this lineup, you got Scott Ward, who's a sophomore, 6'3", 240. Lamb, 6'1", Justin Bendeck, 6'2", 200. Bill DeWard was 6'5", 180. And Cloud at 6'5", 220. Whereas Zola stands at 5'11". He, for some reason, I guess because he's standing on the mound, he looks tall. But this team here, in contrast, and it looks like St. Rose is Jamie T playing against Gloucester Catholic. Fastball pitch out, throw down to second base, and plenty of time. And I was good. One play there by Coach McInerney. 1-2 now for the Rams. Nice call there to pitch out and get the runner. Maybe that might slow down the Rams a little bit. Not only that, you 2-1 count right now. Pitcher can ease back a little bit. Well, no. Colton Cloud, this is upstairs, 3-1. It's tough to be high on Cloud. And in terms of strikes, it's tough to be high. You got that curveball with fastball popped up. Coming back is the catcher Gango, but he will run out of rope just barely, and it got a piece of one of the spectators there. I'm not sure where it hit the spectator. Might have gone. That's everyone's all right over there. It's like you could see the sun's right up above us. I'm sure they've had the same problem. Not able to take a look. Way to nick somebody. I'm sure I'll get a point to make sure everything's okay. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Jameson. Wow. Some of the parties trying to take care of the spectator. We have a stoppage to play here, and obviously some concern over there. Our angle, we can't really get a good look, although, of course, they were deft to keep us. There you do get a really good view right there. What is going on? And again, Gloucester Catholic jumps out to a 1-0 lead, leading off the game. Brett Daniels stole second base after a base hit. Went on to steal third. And from the bathroom, Joe Gango going into left field. He comes around to score. And that's the difference right now. 1-0. We are in time of the second inning here. And, his problem so far is he's got behind hitters and lost things. So spilling in the first inning. Third hitter in the bat that he faced, he was able to jump out to a 1-2 pinch count, and then ended up walking those batters. Daniels, it was a big one. He singled back through the middle and able to score some runs. And he knew really no pain touch to tell him really part of that inning. He was able to steal a couple bases, thus getting close to Cal 1-0 late. This will be our last baseball telecast here on Comcast. And it's been quite a season. We've seen some great games, great season. We have it's been a great season. This year is our first year for the Clay Awards that we're putting together. When I talk to them, still a buying time to talk about that show, and they put a lot of time that way and collaborate on there. Okay, what came up with an idea to have sort of like a Clay Awards, similar to like the NSB Awards, whereas one night, no dinner, nothing like that. People are going to come to the Broadway Theater. So what the ESPYs or the Oscars or the Academy Awards, there'll be 3 nominees for each particular category. There's different categories. One being, let's say, the baseball category, the baseball player of the year. There'll be 3 nominees in the audience. That night they'll be chosen, and as the winner, most outstanding baseball player, they'll come up and accept a nice plaque. The other 2 will receive a certificate saying they were a Clay Award winner. Or hope this happens, year in and year out, where it develops into something. It should be a nice evening. Bob Schreib is going to make the master of ceremonies. Absolutely. We're going to have some video highlights, odd music. We're hoping it develops into something that people gain some interest in. We've already had a great deal of interest. People have been calling for tickets, and you can get tickets at 374 36 37 374 3637 for that night. We'll talk a little bit more about how this is getting. All down at the plate by Jameson Clown Callum is here. Again, the spectator getting some medical attention. I believe they're all right, but obviously some concern here. We now 3-2 killed. There's 1-0. It was 1-0. Fastball swung on and missed. And 2 outs here for the Rams. That'll bring up designated hitter. That is Anthony Tranga. Designated hitter. You can say 484. Coming up as your 9-hole hitter. What I guess you can call it shabby to have as a 9-hole hitter, where he's been able to hit the ball. Fastball for a strike here. And that was 1 strike to Tranga. 15 hits on the season. 10 runs. Upstairs. 1 strike by Tranga, as you mentioned. 15 hits. Now, interestingly enough, all of them singles. Spray hitter. Fastball. Line to the shortstop, Friedel, and he will pick it clean to end the inning. So, 3 up and 3 down here for Gloucester Catholic. And after 1 1/2 innings, it's Gloucester Catholic on top of St. Rose. 1-0 here on Comcast Cablevision, Channel 43. Welcome back to Washington Township High School, bottom of the second inning here. Lead things on for St. Rose. That takes a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike here. It's a Newton, the right fielder. Newton on the year, hitting at 302. 25 runs scored and 28 RBIs. Takes inside. Just missing. Wonder what? Intern at the Gloucester Catholic fade. Get her in her sunglasses. Beautiful the bridge of her nose, gave her a little cut. She's played, but like any cut trooper, she's toughening this game out. She knows this is a final. She's not me. She not doing good on it, Well, maybe at some point in time in their career, she's like, Robert Wow, James Wow's father was the one who gave him stuff. He asked him what they feed him. You know, because I just had a son that was, figure. And it said he was born like this. That must have been painful burn. But he's really, he swung on a miss by Newton. The second strikeout here for Mazzola. Quickly one out here for St. Rose. Mazzola's really grooving it. Field. Getting back to Cloud. Mr. Cloud had said, Robert Cloud had said that a lot of big schools, Division I schools, are after Jameson. About scholarship. Iowa, Syracuse, Penn State. Lies quickly to left field. Glasgow underneath that easily for the second half here in the second inning. Well, I think it's only appropriate that a big school would be. Stepping in, Craig Califano, the left fielder for his St. Rose. Hitting 320 on the year. His first year as a varsity starter for St. Rose. St. Rose coming into this game a record of 22-5. St. Rose out of Belmar. That's Belmar, North Jersey by Beach. Belmar, where essentially Gloucester Catholic plays their games. I'd grab this street, pitch for a strike. Coach Mark McInerney, this is his 8th year, second time in the state championship, of course. The last time defeated by Gloucester Catholic, 11-3. Zola's pitch popped up in the infield. Coming on is the third baseman, Cloud. He will take it easily. That takes him to St. Rose second inning. So it's 3 up and 3 down. After 2 complete, Gloucester Catholic on top of St. Rose, 1-0 in the South Jersey Parochial Bay Championship game here on Comcast Cable Vision Channel 43. Welcome back to Washington Township High School. Gloucester Catholic on top, 1-0 over St. Rose of Belmar here at Washington Township High School. For site with Shawn Leary, bringing in the South Jersey Field Championship. First pitch to Daniels, misses upstairs for a ball. Daniels went off the game with a base hit up the middle. Probably stole second and third. Aaron throw going into left field. Daniels scored. That's the difference right now. Mitch misses upstairs again here to Daniels. Again, we mentioned Daniels leading this team with 23 stolen bases now. Obviously, Daniels going to have to bear down. Fastball for a strike here to Daniels. You really have to take something off that. You get that over for a strike. You have Daniels, and you're basically looking at a run because he's going to probably steal a base on you, especially if he's already had success. And at the very least, he creates havoc in your mind as a pitcher and throws off your rhythm and everything. You're thinking about him on the base pad stealing a couple times against you, and you lose concentration on your hitter. One of the keys to St. Rose was to get out box early. The first inning defensively. Spar had yet to solve. Pitch misses high. It's now 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Daniels. I think this big pitch is probably in this game. We're in the third inning. As I said, you're looking at maybe a run, and Mazzola doesn't need much. Popped up down right field, coming on, it's Doon, and he will simply run out the road. And the first baseman, John Lennon, collapsing on the ball, falling safely in foul territory. Waiting on the first baseman over there, John Lennon. John Lennon, wait for him to come up. Fun. Just imagine. This baseman, 3 balls and 2 strikes here. Fastball. Hey, nice job by Daniels just to get a piece of that. Foul, waste that pitch. That's what you want. Your leadoff hitter. You want him to waste a few pitches. The leadoff hitter is typically a guy who takes some pitches and he waste pitches for you. Surprisingly, Daniels leads the team as strikeouts. Struck out 15 times. Not something you necessarily want to have your leadoff hitter. And a 3-2 pitch pop up in the air. Coming on, it's the shortstop Pride down. He will call it and take it for the first out here. One down. So Benigno has really settled down. He gave up the only single of the game to Daniels. Back a couple of hitters as well, behind a couple of times, but really posed himself both down. That's what you want your senior to do in a game such as that, such a big game. He's going to experience such a big lineup. Oh, that almost gets our camera guy. You gotta keep your head up in this game. I almost got Rob our camera guy, but nice job by Rob. He's so easy running away with it. Did not know about that so before. No balls and one strike here to Sakante. Fastball swung on and missed 0-2. Sakante headed to Rowan University. I tell you what, Rowan is going to have phenomenal eyeglass. Rucci, the catcher at the top there. And Sakante at the plate. Fastball misses up high. Pitcher from last year, John Schwartz, who was one of the top players, of course, in the South Jersey, is now to Rowan as well. Fastball misses them. 2 balls, 2 strikes, so they're going to be sounding all around. And it's kind of fun as not only a fan of Gloucester County sports, you also, as a sports writer, and was an Auburn Gloucester County Project assistant. To see these guys come back, you got that local flavor there, and you see what they do, especially with the programs like Gloucester County College throwing guys. You get the kind of room for them guys. You've seen them already in 2 or 3 years in high school. Well, it's deja vu all over again. To quote Yogi Berra, Sakante behind, no balls, 2 strikes, works the walk here, and that is not what Benigno wanted. Sakante stole a base in the first inning. We'll see. Not if, but when Sakante will be on the race this year. Sometimes I like that. Sometimes I don't. In this situation, I would like him to steal the face. For some reason, with a left-handed stick, you go, come on, for landscape, you can get something going. 1 out, maybe first or third if he's able to find it. The runner steals, obviously now home closes a little bit. I'm talking about let's be the first baseman and the second baseman. Stepping in at direction for last on 1 fly down. Last time up. It was a shallow fly ball, and Sakante, third base, was a notch. See, I should be play-by-play color with this, and I should ask you, as coach, when you have a runner on first, you have a left fielder, this 1 out. How do you typically like to see this situation? You steal, you get the runner to second base, move along, because they have obviously with 0 outs. The guy's still second, you get him to third as much as you just fly ball or something. 1 out. Well, I think it typically depends on what type of left-handed hitter you have. If it's a guy that likes to push the ball the other way, obviously, really not going to take advantage of that at all. But oftentimes, when I have a good hitter, I will let him get a first strike in this situation to see if he can pull a fastball. And after that, it's on the races. Alaska, Alaska stepping in here. And Sakante takes off, grounded back to Benigno. Has a tough time fielding it. Sakante, now second base, but he calls on back. Second. We'll have to field that an infield signal here from Mike Velasquez and Gloucester Catholic. Again, threatening here. Runners on first and second base at just 1 out for Mike G. I can't see giving him an error there. Listen, it was the clean play. Wasn't able to come up with the play, but right there you see John Lennon come up from first base and tell us. Sure, so we're going to look at each other every time we see John Lennon. So you can't just imagine him playing first base. He had a guitar in his hand, maybe. When the shortstop came up throwing on that play, that's a play where you want to hold it. Only bad things can happen. You're not going to get the runner on first base in that situation. G here. Struck out in his last plate appearance. Ball misses high and inside. 1-0. G asking home plate umpire and jury hit by Petchin. Jerry Lodnick sticks. No, sir. Likely one of the better umpires here in South Jersey. He's done a great job each and every year. Next pitch. Fastball. left field, going back. This is the time of the bench. Scoring easily. It's Chicante. Coming to the third base, Velasco. Ricci pulling up at second base, and he'll be into the stand-up double. Just like that, on top. 3-0. Luck did him a favor there by saying it didn't hit him. Richie really ripped that ball deep. Almost to that 355 side. Just left of that. It must have hit just the top of the fence because it looked like it was going right on it. Like Richie doing it again. And like Richie also one of the nominees for the Clay Awards, one of the 3 nominees this year. I think one of the things in college league when you're disappointed like this, you keep a center fielder Catalano and left fielder Catalano is just kind of a little bit got into the second gear and just coasted over there, expecting the ball to click with this, and you just cannot take that for granted. Then it will come up. The back of fence was going to get by him. On his way to second base land, the strong throw from and gets through. Not played that ball well. Very tentative coming in on the ball. Let it get by him, and then a throw short hops and sliding into second base. Joe Lamb left us for that a single and an error. Certainly doing heads up base with him by Lamb. But a stopping on the outfield, the throw wasn't on target. He makes the mistake. Not getting in front of the ball, trying to play it to his side. Well, young players out there, that's what you want to look at. You're looking at this game to see what you play, what the nice players do, what they don't do well. Right there, a mistake by him is he let the ball get to his side. Instead of getting in front of it, they come up and then stepping in. Boyer last time had the fight struck out against the Medium. Sure ball for a strike, Ellsworth. Bit of a surprise here, Sean. McInerney opts to have tied down. Second baseman Husko laying deep up the middle, allowing the run to score here with Waterfield. But was the cat had to for nothing. I tell you what, I think at this point, in my opinion, it's going to be tough to score runs against Zola. You have to stop anyone that you can. I'm kind of surprised too. I think you have to play this play in, and try to get the way out. All right, well. 9 to the shortstop. What about to Vidal? Throws over at first base. That's on Boyer. Give Boyer an RBI. You can, but on time, and I'll take it. I'll tell you what, it may have worked out better for Sands because I think with right hill playing up, down, that should have had an opportunity on that baseball. Nonetheless, his arms stretch me because he would have never been able to get to that ball. Nice play by him over there at shortstop. They'll get down behind 4-0. Gloucester Catholic has to be over there, have a little bit of smirk on their face because with this old man and what he's been able to do this year, dominate. They got to be pretty happy right now, leading 4-0 in just the third inning. Wish you won't see a smirk. Dennis Bob, but he's just fastball. This is here. Kyle Davis. Davis hit by pitches last time. But on the second. Chill out here, Gloucester Catholic at the top. Bring up ball to Davis. In between hop. And completely there by John Lennon. That won the inning. Out for Gloucester Catholic. Adds to the lead with 3 runs here. After 2 1/2 innings, it's the Gloucester Catholic Rams on top of the St. Rose Hurricane Rangers 4-0 at the South Jersey Parochial Main Championship game here on Comcast Cable Channel 43. Welcome back to Washington Township High School. I'm Chris along with Shawn Leary. Main Parochial South Jersey Championship leading things off here for St. Rose of Belmar as you see trailing by the score of 4-0 is Joe Gangle, the catcher. This is upstairs here at Gangle coming into this game hitting .313 with 6 doubles and 11 RBIs. Second year on the varsity for Gangle. It's all his fastball swung on and missed. He's really grooving his fastball today. Go giddy up behind him. He's getting it over. Gangle just a soft. Saw him the curveball. Foul on. In and out of glove approach. on his thumb is right. Says, I drive down the left field line, and that will fall foul. Pick on a Missoula change. Rucci's so good, you got to find space for that. Don't get too big in the catcher's man's because he's just an outstanding player. You're not going to find too many faults with him. Brilliant. Player not only leader on his team, but he's the catcher. Takes control of the game as leader behind the plate. He's the number 4 hitter in this team. And 5 innings up short. Fastball popped up, and that ball out of play as well. So continuing to battle Missoula. This is a pitcher's time of day. Roughly about 80 degrees, beautiful out, easy to get loose. Statements throughout. It certainly. We did that game the other day. We're talking about that. It was a little bit rainy. It's hard to stay loose. It was plastic conditions. So there's only getting another strike in. That's his third view. He's really setting up the curveball with his fastball. This curveball is his foundation. Been able to get a couple of squeezes. And here comes John Lennon. Well, John Lennon over here hitting 274. 9 RBIs for the first baseman. How many hits? He's got a couple of hits. Wow. Did I mention the match? All right. Hey, we mentioned the match already. Ever get you through the knife? Was that John Lennon? Yeah. Who's on the truck? Yeah, that was one of his. It's from Howard. Kevin LePaster. Information coming from all over. John Elton was on that song. Ford. You can't go Google. Elton John and John Lennon. Well, John Lennon swinging and missing, and the Missoula curveball. We'll have to talk more about Lennon and the Beatles next time up. And that is strikeout number 4 for Missoula. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter. Peter Wolves for the designated hitter, hitting at 394 on the year. Fastball misses high, 1-0. Please tell me plays our favorite Beatles song. Is that? Okay, come on. All right. Swung on and missed here by Walsper, and the left Walsper opening up there is front side. Nasmo that stands Hughes doesn't really close it here. Strike 1 and 2 strikes here to Walsper. He's really going to be susceptible to that outside pitch. That's something that Missoula does well. Really works quarters. Swung on at best. Missoula strikes out the side here. In the 3rd inning. 3 up and 3 down for St. Rose. We are done with 3. It's Gloucester Catholic on top of St. Rose. Nothing. And you're watching Comcast Cable Vision Channel 3. Welcome back to Washington Township. Gloucester Catholic on top of St. Rose. 4-0 here in the South Jersey Championship game. Rob Christ along with Shawn Leary stepping to the plate. Jameson Clown struck out in his first at bat. Fastball misses away. 1-0. Beautiful sunny day. Orange Clown out is at the plate. We'll use that last pitches. Third year award until the first baseman for St. Rose, John Lennon, steps to the You can never go wrong. You can have as much fun with it as possible as far as the loser. Clown throws the ball into right center field, trying to close the gap. It's Catalana. And that will hold Clown to a single. Jameson Clown with a base hit now, and that is number 5 for this Gloucester Catholic team. A nice job by Clown. You go the opposite field, take the pitch, and serve it into right center. It's really just a power guy. He's back to Monday. He knows how to get the bat on the ball and takes advantage of it. He's going to come out here. The pitch runner will come in. Anthony Matrago will step to the plate, the designated hitter. And again, Gloucester Catholic loves to run. We get a chance to take a look in the Gloucester Catholic bench. They literally have the roster that is almost equivalent to a major league roster in terms of their numbers. About 25 kids over there, so you can send pinch runners all day long. First pitch, strike to the designated hitter, Anthony Matrango, down in his first appearance. This Matrango squared. Pitcher not in time to pitch on it. I did not mention that's thank you. This is Telecos. Over first base in Telecos. Back in town. Telecos. Again, pinch runner. 65. He is a junior. Here's pitch. Pitch out. Nothing doing. One strike counts. Gloucester Catholic. More than the assistants. Sewell and yellow. The other way. High down. 2 strikes again. See Art McInerney. Opposite pitch out here. Pitch. Let's talk to him before the game. It is amazing how many coaches that come from that team. Frank Delano went on. Right at the field. Here. Sutton Sacco is over at York College. Another player on that team is over at Duke coaching. Fastball again, bound down left field, coming on with Ken Wilson Drew makes a nice catch, tagging up smartly is Telecos, and he will slide in safely to second base. But a good play by left fielder Greg Califano. Toward the first out of the inning, Matrango. But a tough luck there as continue to battle. Come down here in the court. Play there by Califano. Hard. Not really concerned that's whatsoever. Almost with face first, making the diving catch. Places a runner at second base. Gives his pitcher 1 out. Again, this is a dangerous situation because you have Daniels, great speed here, who has shown the ability to lay down a bunt. And that will keep Jimmy Tinnerell on his toes at third base, which we saw is the possibility of a bunt, big bunt steal, or a bunt run. Daniels scored the first run, 8, stealing a pair of bases. He popped out the shortstop his last time up. Fastball. Daniels bunts down third base, and again, Tyrell having to play back because of the front of the steal by Telecos. Easily with the bunt single. His call, coach. Hunt was on the order and he delivered for you. Now, first and third, I would assume that Daniels, they might have to give it to him now. Slide him over to second base. It's like an intentional, long steal. You get there, he's got to go. But you're right. There's so funny things that can happen. You always see that in base go with kids forget about what's going on at third base. You go back to the pitcher and get some sleep. In the dirt. Hunter here to Sucante. I tell you, I'm surprised that Coach Barnes did not opt to have you stay on that pitch. He's surprised to see Noe right here. They get up top, they're going to double up Sucante, and they're playing that to go back. Here, different pickoff play on that first and third. The first throw, some catcher Gangle right back to the need you. This time, Chris Husko, but you've got to get across behind the pitcher smartly. Telecos and third base falls tight. So now runners at second and third base here for Sucante. And again, we mentioned how dangerous of a hitter he is. Now they bring the infield in. And they recognize he can only have to stop. This is upstairs. 3 balls and no strikes here to Sucante. See if Coach Hart gives him the green light. Falaska Rinchi led coming up behind him. Kind of surprised with Sucante This is upstairs. Ryan's top team has won for the third time today. Base is now loaded with Reeves. One out, bringing up Mike Velasco. Velasco has flown in. Scored after Sigalate in the third. Meeting now. He's going to go out and talk to his pitcher. Base is loaded. They're in serious danger losing all control or any control in this game. Already down 3-0 against the Rams. Well, that'll give us an opportunity to take time out. We'll step away. We are in the fourth inning. Gloucester Catholic on top, 4-0 here on Comcast Cablevision Channel 43. Welcome back to Washington Township. Coach Park up with his conference with pitcher Espinino. 1 out, bases are loaded here. Gloucester Catholic on top, 4-0. Stepping in, as we mentioned, a 3 Mike Velasco for the Rams. First pitch is a curveball for a strike. 0-1. And then Benigno gets ahead. A couple things here. You have the infield in, so they respect the speed of Velasco. They can turn two. But you also have Benigno, who's pitching the one and run on second base to get a healthy lead. Some coaches kind of let the pitcher decide what he wants to do. If he feels more comfortable throwing from the windup, let him do it. But other coaches would prefer that he go for the stretch. That way he can keep the runner at second base honest. I think Benitez really struggled with the control a little bit. As a coach, you're probably saying, all right, I can just get him back on track, throwing strikes. If he's more comfortable going in the windup, let's go at it. Curveball, swung on and missed by Velasco. We've seen this all day. Benigno has gotten ahead, but then lost hitters. We'll see if he can continue to battle here and get Velasco. That would be a big out. Velasco choking up on the bat here. The pitch, fastball misses. Called strike 3. Strike 3 to Velasco. Borderline pitched. Velasco takes call strike 3. There is 2 down now in the fourth. In another instance, if you have a pitcher that can run a couple of strikeouts in a game, if he feels more comfortable, he gets a little bit more giddy up on the pitch, a little bit more velocity, maybe you go to that to try and strike the batter out, which you just did. Now that brings up Mike Parochial. 2 outs here for the cleanup hitter. Rucci, he's 1 for 2. The smack double on the top of the fence by the 355 sign, left center field. Knocking in a pair of runs. That was the big hit in that third inning for the Rams. Pitch from Benigno. Sway just outside. Nice call with 1 strike. Maybe you get him something to chase. Grounders. The second. Shortstop. On delivery to Rucci. Way. Remember the first inning. Benigno got ahead of Rucci and ended up striking him out on a good curveball. That's right. It might be right now in the mind of Rucci thinking maybe you're going with a curve here. If this is where you try to get him going after a high fastball. Let's see what Benigno has in mind. 1-2 pitch here to Rucci. Fastball popped up down right field. Pat Newton on his horse, along with John Lennon. Converging Lennon. Down, and it's early. Foul ball. That is a critical guy. As Lennon was walking the tightrope down on that first base line, seemed to allow the ball to get a little bit behind him. It did go off his glove, and that's a critical call there. Home plate umpire Jerry Locknick ruled that, in fact, the ball would have landed in foul territory. And we'll see how big of a call that is. Yeah, it was close to the line, but it did right on the first base line. We have to get a good look at it. Looked to be a good call. Certainly did. Let it hustling down that right to the line, trying to get after it. We've seen a couple balls hit down there. It's kind of hard today, especially when the sun is straight up ahead of us. A ball with 2 strikes here. Bases are loaded. Catholic on top. 4-0. Curveball grounded towards front out backfield. Makes the throw to second base. Not in time. Good hustle there. Field base hit for Rucci. Secate showing off his good speed, beating the throw to second base. And Rucci knocks in his 3rd run of the afternoon. Gloucester Catholic now adds to that lead. It's 5-0. There you were talking about as opposed to the windup in the stretch. There, you're able to get that extra little bit of a lead, and maybe he gets to second base in time because he's in the windup and doesn't go from the stretch. Courtesy runner into the game. That's number 21, Rich Spiegel. And of course, Richie afforded the opportunity to be run because he is the catcher. Again, base is still loaded now with 2 outs. Friedel really shading Richie towards the bag there. As a result, not able to get to that ball perhaps as quickly as he normally would be, I suppose, understandable as they continue to pitch away from him. And Richie was fouling that ball down the right field side. Lamb to the plate here. Fastball misses away. 1 ball and no strikes. Joe Lamb has walked, stolen a base, and singled. Pitch to Lamb. Curveball. Called for a strike. Count evens at 1-1. He did a nice job against Richie pitching the way, not giving him anything he could drive. Richie finds some way to get a runner out again. Benigno misses with the curveball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, pitch runner from Richie at first base. Sakate. Then hustle play at second base. And over at third, Brad Daniel. So quite a bit of speed to burn on the bases here. Ball in the gap. And could easily score 3 runs here for Gloucester Catholic. 2-1 delivery. Fastball fouled away by Lamb. 2-2. Lamb taking on that high fastball from Benigno. Benigno, as we mentioned, coming into today's game, their number 1 pitcher, of course, with a record of 7-2, 42 strikeouts, 57 innings. Thus far today, Benigno has recorded 4 strikeouts. 2-2 pitch to Lamb. Grounded back to Benigno. They'll have plenty of time. Throws over to John Lennon. And that will end the inning. But not before Gloucester Catholic scores another run. When they do strand 3 runners after 4 1/2 innings. Gloucester Catholic on top. St. Rose 5-0 on Comcast Cablevision, Channel 43. As you see, just one of many fans on hand here at Washington Township High School. Watch Gloucester Catholic take on the St. Rose of Belmar Roses. Beautiful day for baseball. Let's play 2. Of course, they will have a game after this one, Sean. Is that us? Yes, exactly. But you catch that pitch, though. Mazzola's next pitch swung on and missed by the leadoff hitter, Chris Husko. Husko popped out to Rucci, the first inning. The game following this one is what game is following this one? Swung on and missed. Ball in third. Rucci has a tough time finding it, but throws down to first baseman Kyle Davis. And Husko is recorded as a strikeout victim. Mazzola now has both had his last 3 victims and has garnered 6 strikeouts on the afternoon as a group. Yeah, but I'm stunned. I didn't know if this was a quiz or something, right? I lost with that. That ball's hit hard. Line into center field, and the ball is knocked down by the center fielder. And Daniels easily underneath it, but seemed to have trouble with it for whatever reason, really fighting that ball. I think they have to roll that a 2-base error by the center fielder Daniels. That's the first base runner on the day for St. Rose. So that breaks up the perfect game, and you have to call it there. That bounced off his glove. I don't see how you can call that a hit. It wasn't an easy play by any means, but it was certainly a play that I think Brad Daniels will tell you. It's reaching hard to his right. Nonetheless, should have caught that. So there is a game 1 into this. Tom gets Walker covered. That's correct. That's correct. Curveball for a strike. 0-1. Inside. 1-1. Isaac Friedel. At the plate, he is St. Rose's top hitter coming into this game, hitting at 506, lined out to the shortstop last time on fastball. Friedel lines that down the first base side. We've seen him do that a couple of times in his first at bat where he found the ball off to his right. So back Sewell giving him a steady dosage of fastballs because he can't obviously absolutely. Of course, out in the right field to you. Washington County playing very shallow. Curveball grounded down towards third base. It's going to be a tough play for Cloud. Finally could not come up with it. And St. Rose with their first base hit of the day. Going over to third base, it's Catalano. Friedel on with the infield single. First and third now for St. Rose of Belmar. We lost to the perfect game with Catalano getting on. And Fidel gets a single, breaks up the no hit. Now you're danger listener shot on here with first and third. And the cleanup hitter, Pat, coming up and struck him his first time out. Solos at the first pitch. Instead, Oxton make the throw over to third base. Nothing doing over there by Catalano, as we mentioned earlier. Pat getting it 3-0-2. But he is the cleanup hitter. 28 RBIs. First pitch misses right for a ball. 1-0. Mentioned for St. Rose only with 5 home runs on the year. That's the most that Coach McInerney has ever had. But he mentioned that they're going to have to put together a bunch of singles to score runs, and that's why they really needed to keep scoring Gloucester Catholic down in order to win this. It's going to be tough to scratch out 5 runs against this Gloucester Catholic team with a bunch of singles. You're certainly right. They're going to need some help, maybe a couple errors, a couple extra base hits. They don't have the power to knock them out of the yard. 8 out of the 9 hitters in this lineup is batting over 300, and they didn't get this far by just waiting to win the games. This team can hit the ball. We've seen Mazzol has really been moving along here so far. But when you have a chance with first and third, you have to take advantage and score a couple of runs. 1-2 pitch, curveball. Nice job by Ritchie to keep that in front of him. Hold the runner at first base. Isaac Friedel right there. That would have been big. Putting 2 runners in scoring position. Ritchie had a fine job behind the plate. 2-2 pitch here to do. Fastball misses outside, 3-2. So it continues to work on the black part of the plate. Full count here. And the question, of course, here is, do you send Isaac Friedel? Get this moving and down by 1 runs. Ground ball in the hole. The shortstop plan throws over to second base. Boyer, first base, not a time. The ball gets away from Kyle Davis on the second base. Will be Noon. Get an RBI on the fielder's choice. From Boyer sends Noon over to second base. And St. Rose is on the board. Look like a good throw. Noon at first base. He's not the quickest to feet now. Getting down the line. They might have had him. Last thing. Don't get the run. They break up the shutout. Now they have a runner at second base. Chris Benino coming up. 2 outs here. First pitch to Benino. Use a ball. Benino, of course, the pitcher for the St. Rose team. To help himself. Ground ball to the third baseman is Cloud. Underneath it easily. Make the throw over the first base and that will end the inning. Now before Belmar gets its first hit and scores its first run. You're done with 4 here from Washington Township High School with Gloucester Catholic on top of St. Rose. 5-1. Welcome back to Washington Township High School. Gloucester Catholic on top of St. Rose 5-1 here in the South Jersey Parochial B Championship. Rob Christ along with Shawn Leary. Get a sense of the sights and sounds here at beautiful Washington Township High School's facility. And I'll take a hot dog with relish and mustard. That's summertime right there. That's all about right now. Summertime. Barbecuing a little bit by the pool, hanging out. Just a nice place. Hey, line drive Friedel tries to take it off the backhand, and Boyer is a port. I think we're going to have to give the shortstop there, Friedel, an error. Friedel just not really in a good position to field that ball, taking it on the backhand. Your feet there, and I think you have 1 out. And he probably said the same thing. He's got to move over a little bit, get in front of that, kind of going into that little lazy lead. Because that's really the key. When you get down a few runs, you really can't afford to be lazy against this Gloucester Catholic team because they will really make you pay. First pitch is a strike from Benito. Air to big Kyle Davis. We mentioned that this team is a large team. Davis hit by a pitch and grounded out to first base. His last time up, 0 for 1 on the afternoon. Every single inning, Catholic's been able to Early try in the deep left field, raging after it. It's Califana. He will not catch up to it. Into the gap. Coming around, it's Moyer, and he held at third base by Coach Dennis Barth. And in the second base, it's like Kyle Davis with a stand-up double. Yeah, that ball just seemed to keep carrying. The wind's not blowing out. What little wind there is here is going out towards a little bit towards the left center. Straight away left field. The ball seemed to just carry, go over Califano's head. Davis again. Catholic. That seems to be every single inning. That'll bring up another one of their big players. That, of course, is Jameson Clown. His first pitch is a strike. 0-1 here. It's Clown. I never got the chance to quiz you because we were going the game after this is being played. That'll be televised. Curveball to Clown. It is a strike. 0-2. Is which game? I'll quiz you. It's in it. No chance balls. You're going to connect to the right foot. You get 100. You go home early. I don't want to go home early, but it is the Parochial A Championship. St. Joseph Metuchen. Got up there. Metuchen take on Moss. Big out. Fastball. This is high. Holy cross. He's done a nice job once again last year, and of course, probably the closest team to us in Gloucester Catholic. Curveball in the dirt. He wanted to go out there. Absolutely. That was your final exam. You pass as an announcer, and now you get the certificate once we get done. Was it like it? Clay Awards? So it was played actually. Clay Awards. You might need to fill time anyway, so there you go. Big presentation. Curveball misses high. Cal. Here, and again, I don't know if we can pull back, but you see Benigno on the mound and behind him at second base. Because he is pitching from the windup, that really gives Kyle Davis an opportunity to take that huge lead, and a single will certainly score Davis in spite of him not having good speed. This is all foul back here by Jameson Clown. We mentioned as Sunrise on this team, Kyle Davis, 5'10", 195. And as we mentioned before, Jameson Clown going 6'5", 240 pounds. That was at the start of the season. What do you think he's up to now? I would say he's practically tipping the scales. He's thinking for his height. Popped out down by first baseman Shawn Lennon, and Lennon is under it. 1 down. Usually around this time of year, I'm thinking he's probably shoveling a couple cheesesteaks down. It's that time of the year. You go over to Rita's Water Ice or some other Debbie's ice cream. I can't think of all the different places around. A lot of, but a little bit of ice cream going on. So I realize he's just a high school kid, Sean, but Jameson, would you watch this? I want you to understand that is Shawn Leary, not Rob Kirsten. Well, see, I'm not a small guy myself, so I get in with the big guys. I love when I see these big guys. I'm a lineman type guy. I like the courts. You're like the John Madden Jr. Yeah, it's really because when I get to interview him later in the game, I'm not going to school. I look a little thinner, you know? Okay, guys, you always look over for them to see where you're going with this. Top all in there. This is 1-0 here for St. Rose. Fastball. Line right at Friedel. Opts not to go to the plate. Turns over to first base instead. Boyer going right on the crack of the bat. Again, Friedel, I think, comes by some front base there. Opportunity. Then comes by the wayside for St. Rose. And that's exactly what happened. You know, it almost seems like they're sort of behind. They see how Missoula's pitching. They're kind of not into the game. You're looking at St. Rose. There you got to be thinking straight ahead. As soon as if I get this ball on the line drive, I'm going with it. Because if ball hit that hard, don't waste that runner score. All popped and shallow center field. It's Frank Catalano underneath it. He will make the catch, and that will end the inning. But again, not before Gloucester Catholic attacks off another run here. And after 4 1/2 innings, it's Gloucester Catholic on top of St. Rose, 6-1 in South Jersey Parochial Championship game. Welcome back here Washington Township High School, Gloucester Catholic on top of St. Rose 6-1 in the South Jersey Parochial Championship game. Christ along with Shawn Leary. First pitch is a fastball fended away by the leadoff man, Greg Califano, who made the catch. It was Catalano to make the catch in center field last inning. That's tough because you get Catalano in center and Califano left. Not easy. Yeah. We'll see if we can change that around some. And a lot of next year we'll change it to young. A lot of hope is on this St. Rose team. Chris Husco, Frank Catalano, Chris Benigno, Greg Califano, and John Lenino. That's a typo, sorry. They need to get something started here. Fastball swung on a minuscule 8-5. One of the things that Coach Barth pointed out previously, that Mazzola just seems to get stronger and stronger as the game goes on. Just when you have a 6-1 lead, you get a little bit loose. And nice, there you go. Ooh. Are we talking about Rochi? Maybe I thought maybe he learned in just a few innings out on those foul tips. But that is a tough play as a catcher. That's just try and grab one of those foul tips. That's a 50-50 play. And is this thing you got to really work on? I mean, it's something that you know. It's just something that I'm always joking around trying to find a fault in. There's a strikeout again from Mazzola. That is really something you just need to have a little bit of luck. The ball's going to hit the right spot for the catcher's mitt, and you try to hold on to it. It's not something that you can work through. Joe Gangle will step to the plate. He was a strikeout victim his last time. Called strike 3. Line drive, soft up the middle, and it will find its way through. Just a second base hit here for this St. Rose squad. Gangle is aboard. See if Coach Pat McInerney opts to use a pitch runner situation or courtesy runner. St. Rose, interesting. Coach McInerney was telling me they have roughly 500 kids that go to St. Rose, 2/3 of which are female. Those kind of shoot. John Lennon's probably one of the main men. One of the main men on campus. Swung on a missed here by John Lennon Sr. What did we got to come up with our favorite Beatles. So we were going to do that. How about the favorite Beatles album? I think Sgt. Pepper Seed is good. It's okay, you know. That considered cheating. Well, I'll go with that one as well. Revolver, another good one. Of course, the Beatles. A lot of Beatles. Ball misses inside and low. The 3 balls and 1 strike here to John Lennon Sr., the first baseman for the St. Rose team. John Lennon takes a ball. Good dive. They have something going, even though you have the 1 out. You can capitalize here, get a couple of runs, and get at least Catholic back to their heels a little bit, and regain the momentum. Maybe you have something, especially from the bottom of your order. It seems like you always see that from a good team, where they're behind, a team that comes from behind. The bottom of the order kind of ignites the top. They get something going into the game, and then the top really carries them through it. And have some. Here you see Lucifer, and we talked a little bit before about this opening stance. Fastball, and right over the heart of the plate. I'm a little bit surprised. It does have very good location. If you take a look at Lucifer, he has an open stance and really doesn't close it. He can really beat him away, particularly with something off speed. Mazzola with that good curveball. Instead, outwing out fastball in and over the plate. There, Mazzola goes for the curveball away, but misses outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Made a lot of points in this game. Are you sure not a coach? Not currently. Yeah, it's the on season. Swung on and missed. There, this is a foul tip. There, which he was able to hold on to. Of course, if no one must have heard you earlier. If you know what, he's probably going to turn around and throw when he falls right at me. Oh, this is upstairs. If anybody doesn't know, Rob is the coach of the Gateway baseball team, and has been so for the last 6 years. So 6 years. And you were able to take your team to South Jersey Finals. Won 2 years ago in 1998. 99 that was with Josh Schwartz was going down. That is correct. So Zola kind of losing it here, and now you have the top of the order coming up. So making things interesting is Missoula has been able, or has fallen behind, but has two batters. Started off with Joe Egg, and they won able to sink. Well, you see Coach Pat Meg talking to the leadoff hitter, Chris Husko. Husko has popped out and struck out. And again, I think the first thing that he's going to emphasize is, look, Missoula's having a little bit of a tough time with his control. You know, he may try to grow the fastball here if it's depending on your philosophy. Listen, if you like him, Chris, go for it. Otherwise, you may say, listen, theoretically, run means nothing. Why don't we take a strike here? Now, two varying thoughts on approach. And I think you got to look at the pitcher in that situation. So you look at him, and he's just taking all the way. And I think you look at the pitcher and see what he's doing. Now you're in the bottom of the fifth inning. Maybe he's tiring a little bit. So I think you take a couple pitches, take a strike, and make it to a strikeout. Inside for a strike. Inside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike here. It's Chris Husko. Husko leading the team with 30 runs scored. Fastball grounded towards the middle. Fielded softly by Lamb. Turning to his Boyer. And just like that, Gloucester Catholic finds its way out of danger. 1 hit in the inning. 2 runners stranded on base. And after 5 complete, Gloucester Catholic on top of St. Rose, 6-1. Welcome back to Washington Township High School. South Jersey High Kill B Championship game here. Gloucester Catholic leading St. Rose and Belmar 6-1. Nom's names would be Sacante, Gloucester Catholic, Sacante, Velasca, and Parochial, 2-3 and 4 for Gloucester Catholic. Sacante has won 3 times, hits one deep into left field, it's gone! Ryan Sacante gets one up in the air, and the jet stream simply pushes it out. Sacante with the home run, Gloucester Catholic now leads 7-1. And we talked about Sacante and his power out. He can turn on one. That's certainly what it did. It definitely seems like the ball is carrying. If you get it up into the wind, it's carrying to left field. And the ball is carrying right over the fence. The home run now Gloucester Catholic leading by 6 in the 6th inning. There you see Chris Benigno. 27, Mike Velasco. He's had a tough day, but that is something very common. Opposing pitchers for Gloucester Catholic. They know how to hit home runs. That's the 31st home run of the year. Sacante. It was 6 tied Richie for the team lead. Mentioned before, St. Rose and Belmar 5 home runs on the entire team. So Sacante now with 6 more home runs than the entire CW squad. Sacante, unlike a lot of his teammates, very diminutive. Talked with him more about Jeebus and Cloud being 6'5". Just reverse those numbers. Sacante, 5'6", 150 pounds when he packs block. All found away here by Velasco. He really does pack well. 5'6". And that just goes to show you, you don't have to be huge to hit home runs. It's about that speed. It's about being able to get a little bit of upper body strength. That's something he has. He knows how to turn it. Fastball line right at the right fielder. And coming on to make the play at 1 out here in the 6th inning. Are you a big home run hitter? Because you're not 6'5". No, I was not a big home run hitter. I was more of a gap hitter. But that's what I could get out of the end. Sometimes they would let me hit pitchers' mounts. Yeah. I'm sorry. Mike Ritchie will step to the plate here. Ritchie 2 for 3 on the afternoon. Sometimes the best and the worst players make the best coaches. Bob Euchre should be coach of the year every year, right? Fastball misses away here to Ritchie. Ritchie, as we mentioned, 2 for 3 on the day, 3 RBIs. The big hit, a 2-run double in the 3-run 3rd inning for Gloucester Catholic. Ritchie takes high. 2-1 here to the catcher, Mike Ritchie. Gloucester Catholic again well their way, nearly 7-1. 6 outs. So great.
Them in another South Jersey Parochial championship. Fastball. This is now
Which is
board here with a walk. One down now.
that'll bring up Joe Lamb. Spoke earlier about how Murchie is a played
Nominee for baseball
player of the year along with Washington Township's own McFarland. He had a tremendous season. Just took that Washington Township team
and carried him on it.
back. And some say he's really going to show himself.
Just really
Outstanding player. And joining them
I think baseball
was the toughest category for the committee to decide on nominees. Richie's comes in and steals base. Last number 21. Joe Lamb 0 for 2 and 1 for 2.
with
A single has walked and has grounded back to the pitcher.
a
Nominee is Justin
Williamstown.
Play nominees for baseball player of the year. The ball gets away
From Gangle.
over to 30. Now is Spiegel. They have run on third. 1-1 out. Threatening to score again here in the 6th inning. In his 7-1 lead.
Well,
This is a situation where St. Rose, doesn't want to tire mentally.
that you cannot, even though
You feel that you're down by 6 runs, and sometimes it feels like it's unattainable, that 6-run lead.
you never know.
That's exactly right.
And each run just
It makes it even more and more insurmountable. But the worst thing you'd want to do is let this run score and beat the 1, and then bonus 8-7 by coming back and say, we can
they've been walking off this field, thinking about
the rest of the summer. Thinking how they just let it slip by, paying attention to what they're doing. You don't want to be thinking on something. What if
fastball.
this is away? Spiegel with a big, generous late down third base. St. Rose has beaten some good teams coming into this game. Dell, who's in the
Group 2 championship game.
today versus Audubon. Actually,
The
state semifinals that is being played at Worcester County Park. Also beaten Point Pleasant Beach, lost in extra innings the other night from Florence in the Group 1 championship game. Manchester they defeated, who had a tough time with Audubon, just losing at the end. Play at the plate, the slide, the tag, and he's out. A good play there by the third baseman, Jimmy Tyrell, quickly on down. And a good tag applied by Gangle. That Spartan likes to play aggressively and comes up
empty-handed here.
Well, he's been aggressive the entire game. In this inning, leading by 6 runs, and Spiegel steals second base. That gets him to third after a wild pitch with 1 out. But a nice job by, we were talking about, you don't want to tire mentally, by Tyrell to come home, get the play at the plate, but save his team a run there. So I don't think that was clear. Clear got things started last inning, reaching base on an error by the shortstop, Isaac Friedel. He came around and scored.
Fastball misses up high. Again,
What you really see from this Gloucester Catholic team is a myriad of aggressive set of base runners. Big, generous lanes. Joe Lamb, first base, really getting off the first baseman. A solid secondary lead. Not really respecting the arm of Joe Gangle. Broke to first base, and
he was thrown out of time.
Gloucester Catholic teams going into this game having won 11 straight. The last loss was against Sewell. 3-2. Halfway through the season. Good job. Lamb gets such a big jump up. The Gangle opts not to even throw it down. Stolen base there for Joe Lamb. Sitting watching the day. Not even throws from the catcher. Gloucester Catholic really taking off, using their speed. And it's fun. It's been around the game to know. Hey, look, we're up by 6 runs. You never know what's going to happen. Well, this is a South Jersey Parochial Beach final. Lamb with a second stolen base, swung on this by Boyer. That gives him 13 on the season. For St. Rose, as we mentioned, defeated Point Pleasant Beach, defeated Manchester, defeated Palmdale, also defeated Keep. Parochial Fly ball in a deep center field going back. It's Catalano.
Has room, making the catch and ending the inning.
But once again, Gloucester Catholic puts another run on the board. It continues to
Add to that lead.
here in the South Jersey Parochial B Championship game. You're watching Comcast Cable Geek, Channel 43. Welcome back to Washington Township High School. Gloucester Catholic on time. St. Rose here 7-1. Bottom of the sixth inning. First pitch from Jeff Zola as a strike here to Frank Catalano. Caught that line into center field. Thompson went down the right field side, and that falls out of play.
Nice day here today. Talked already about
So weather got very little wind, about 80 degrees. Gloucester Catholic fans, seems to be a nice amount of people here. They watched the Cats, seen them with his A final. Group B, I'm sorry, Group B final. Another strikeout here for Zola. He continues to add to his totals. Had a bit of a tough time in the fifth inning, walking back-to-back hitters, 8 and 9 hitters, loading the bases, but Chris Husko was induced into the 6-4-3 double play and end the threat. That'll bring up Isaac Friedel, who is 1 for 2 on the day. He had the first hit for St. Rose. That was in the fourth inning. That was an infield single. Ground ball hit to the second baseman here. That's Boyer. He throws easily over first baseman Kyle Davis. Quickly, we have 2 outs in the sixth inning.
Well, the double play that ended the fifth inning
Really hurt St. Rose. You know, they got the bases loaded, 1 out, down by 5 months at the time. Thinking, all right, let's get something together here. Let's lay it down.
We have the top of the order coming up. This Husker grounds
To a double play, turned nicely by Gloucester Catholic. End of any threat. And that really might have put the wraps on St. Rose. You know, 2 outs here in the sixth inning. Pat at the plate, the number 4 here with the lone RBI in the game for St. Rose. And into a fielder's choice, knocking in Frank Catalano. That happening back in the fourth inning.
talking a lot about the play.
Which turned promoted this guy in the mound right here today.
Who could have been a very
Good choice for
one of the 3 nominees.
nominees for baseball player. Someone's home just had an outstanding season. Looking to go 8-0 with the year.
And pop up
Into shallow right field
Bill Boyer underneath it.
quite easily. And it's 3 up and 3 down here in the sixth inning as we head into the seventh. And after 6 complete, it's Gloucester Catholic on top of St. Rose here in the South Jersey Group B Parochial Championship. Welcome back. Washington Township High School, Gloucester Catholic on top of St. Rose here as we hit to the top of the seventh inning by the score of 7-1, 7-9-2 for Gloucester Catholic. 1-2
In 3.
St. Rose.
There's 3
There's
errors.
a point of concern
For
for
McInerney.
and now,
Now, for
for whatever reason, McInerney's options and change pitchers. It's Menino
Menino being taken out of the game.
and Isaac Friedel will come into the ballgame. One of the things that Coach McInerney pointed out, he said that we don't lose a lot in terms of our pitching when Friedel takes the mound, but what we do lose is solid defense because it's a freshman that will come in to play shortstop for St. Rose. Friedel
Now on the year.
has been quite successful on the mound. As we mentioned earlier, 8 wins, just 1 loss, a 2.18
Earned run
average. 2-year starter for this St. Rose team. Started last year as a sophomore. And also, of course, their team's top hitter coming into this game, hitting at 5-6. So, this gives us a couple minutes. Shawn, why don't you talk a little bit again about Clay Awards, where people can get tickets, what it's all about, maybe what a couple of categories are in Central.
Yeah, the big
We have the individual sports awards, which is baseball player of the year, football player of the year. 11 major categories are going to mean things like
male athlete of the year, female athlete of the year,
coach of the year,
team of the year, program of the year.
there's 11 of them. Those winners come out of the audience and actually give a speech. Say a little something.
Thank you.
Just do whatever they want.
Thank you. Hopefully they'll
Get out a little bit and have a speech prepared.
wow the
crowd. The other sports will come up and receive their plaque in a nice smell.
Round them up a little bit.
But the whole evening is really going to be surrounded in Gloucester counties. Not just top athletes, but top talent. We're hoping next year we get some band members take some schools to represent,
Giving one band member
the opportunity to play together with other band members from the county. There is going to be a couple of kids that are going to play, saxophone players that we're going to practice. We're going to do a number I'm not going to reveal today.
But man, they were
Real smooth. Anything from John Lennon? No, Imagine was one of my choices here, but it didn't make it.
they thought it was a
too.
little too mellow.
Gotcha.
So they went with something
About Yoko.
Yoko didn't even make the cut.
But it should be a really nice evening with video be projected right on the big screen. So you'll be able to see what Comcast has already put together throughout the year. We're going to put it all together and make some video, and we're hoping we get a nice turnout. You can get tickets. Green purchased their tickets at 374-3637. Tickets are $5. By getting them in advance, come in a half hour earlier before the doors open. You can get some pictures if you want to get some pictures of any of your favorite fans, or who's up for an award, or somebody who say you're a Gloucester Catholic fan, you want to get all Gloucester Catholic zombies together and get a picture taken with yourself. You can also pick out what seat you want to get. Or 6:30 you can come. You can tickets in the Northeast. Of course, if you purchase tickets beforehand as well, you can get the free reserves. Drinks over in Shawn's house. Me. Big problem with that. You've been outside of this that TV wing, so but it should be
We'll give you that
address well later. Sure. But anyway, it should be a great it should be lots of fun. I know we're gonna have some great presenters.
I know that
Sultan Tucker, the Elsa graduate, usually loves it runner. He's one of the best in the country. Howard Hurdles is going to be there that night. Joe Crispin, led the Penn State team. So Joe Crispin. And number 2, projected for picking the NFL draft. Right? McKinney Forbright didn't even play football. An outstanding story with me there that night as presenters. They're just real teens right there. I might not really want presenters. But it should be a great evening as well. And then it sounds like a great time.
we're gonna have some fun. Absolutely.
Kyle Davis steps in, facing Friedel. Friedel throws the
Fastball in the
darn here to Davis. Davis on the day has been hit by a pitch, grounded out for the first baseman, and has dealt. Friedel, fastball swung on, foul, trying to plate down. Friedel trying to get ahead of Davis. Friedel, primarily fastball, curveball, pitcher as we mentioned, and shooter. Primarily their shortstop.
and Coach Becker.
They had mentioned previously that Friedel, just a fine overall. Fastball swung on in the dirt. Nice pick by Gagel. He'll throw down to first baseman John Lennon to record the strikeout to start things off here for Friedel in the 7th inning. He took away. He's no slumps as a number 2 by no stretch.
Coming into the game
8-1. So this kid really knows how to do it on the mound as well as in the field. Plate this team. St. Rose of Belmar. They only have to bear down to the bottom of the 7th inning, score at least 6 runs at a time. That's if Gloucester Catholic doesn't get anything here in the top of the inning. Now Friedel's first pitch to Jason Cloud is a curveball for a strike. Cloud on the day has struck out, singled and scored, and down first baseman and John Lennon. Curveball misses down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. This Gloucester Catholic team and maybe up for one of the air awards for the nominees. That we're going to be able to find that out. It's being aired on Wednesday and get later on. Up onto the shortstop. Short over to first base and plenty of time to get Cloud and quickly 2 outs here in the 7th inning. So right now we don't know who is going to be the nominees for the major 11 categories when this is televised. In the Gloucester County. Don't forget to purchase tickets in advance for Clay Awards. 737. Well, I just feel like I'm not talking about. I'm starting to feel like the Jerry Lewis. I'd like a telephone.
Well, that would make me
Need wordless. Yeah, it gets out.
It works.
Yeah, it works.
Jerry Lewis was it's always this design. Jerry Lewis.
Fastball misses down low here to the number 9 hitter, Anthony Matranga. Matranga has lined out, flown out, grounded out, knocked in a run. That in the fifth inning, knocking in Bill Boyer. His natural position as a catcher. He's playing DH here today for Gloucester Catholic. Blake Murchie, obviously the choice behind plate for Gloucester Catholic. Beginning of the year, we're saying that this Gloucester Catholic team didn't seem to be the caliber of team that you expected to see. And I think that Steiner week, when you look back in the year, they won 9-6 in that game. And I think that game really was saying that we're back, we're just as good as we've been in recent years. Friedel misses with the pitch, and Matranga takes first base. He's aboard a 2-out base runner here. Turning things around for Brad Daniels, who's had a busy day. He has Siegel popped out, Siegel flown out on the day, has 3 stolen bases and scored a run. Yeah, I think Gloucester Catholic started a little slowly down in Florida, at least for Gloucester Catholic anyway, for their standards. But absolutely. And the other issue, of course, is that Gloucester Catholic lost quite a few players, 9 players from that team last year. So they expected to be down a little bit. But, you know, Gloucester Catholic, it's the old adage. They don't retool, they just keep on. That's exactly correct. And just fill gaps. That's exactly right. They've done it again this year, and it looks only 3 outs left in a 6-run lead. Arizona still on the mound. It looks like they're again going to be parochial champions. One thing I can say about the St. Rose team, they fought valiantly thus far. It's a very well coached team, fundamentally sound. They do a lot of the little things very well, just in terms of their preparation and their setup. There's a reason why they're snapped over to first base, not in time. Exactly right now. They're state champs in 73 and 92. We talked about how they were in this game in 95, lost to Gloucester Catholic here. But they come into the game 22 and 5. You got to have a pretty good team if you come in 22 and 5. They went, they had a tough road trip. They went to Hawaii and over Easter break, he went 5-0. Yeah, I was talking to him about that before. You know, every year he tries to take the team somewhere. I'm sure he talks about how important it is as a bonding experience. It's great because the Catholic schools have more flexibility. What's Hawaii 5-0? Last year, the year prior to they went to Puerto Rico. And I mean, you know, in spite of them going 5-0, that really was a key to their season, I think, and many teams' seasons, because they really get an opportunity to finish well. You know what? After this game's over, I'm gonna burn this tape because I don't want it. If my son gets into baseball, he's gonna want me to move up there. They go on a trip to Hawaii. 2/3 of the school is girls. And Belmar is right on the beach. Yeah, Belmar's on the beach. It's a tough gig. It's actually, I don't feel sorry for these guys. Friedel's pitch to Daniels, popped down first base, and that will find its way out of play. Breaking on the pitch was Matranga. We got a minute. We can congratulate a couple of people. Matt Queen is one of our Lucas viewers in our Comcast viewership area. Tennis players had an outstanding career. Broke the state record the other day. Really a tremendous senior. He's never lost in a head-to-head match or in a team match, a full match. Just incredible. I mean, even as a freshman, we're still waiting to see. He played number 1 as a freshman. And he's just tremendous. West Deptford, what they were able to do baseball-wise this year. I said 3, 4, 5 wins last year. Sean McKinnon comes back this year and really changed that program around. Gets it into the South Jersey 2 finals. And they ended up losing that game to Audubon. But nonetheless, a great season for them. Another one of our schools who did that game. Had a tremendous season. We had a couple of great games. We covered them against Delsey. It was a memorable one for us. So really nice spring for Gloucester County. Washington Township played great here at the school at track. That was just incredible. A couple of outstanding performances. We're going for the meet of champions today. Watching this on Wednesday, one of the rerun shows later on. Weeks to come. Really a nice spring for Gloucester County. I'm sure I'm missing something. Waves there, what he's been able to do under the low barrel. He had a nice year. Nice. Gateway baseball. You can never count those guys. I think coach over there is. You're kind of disappointed this year, but yeah, you get it next year, right? That's why they have next year's. That's right. Well, Friedel will quickly change the subject. Friedel has walked the last two guys here, 2 outs. Sky down the left field, going back over the head of Calvano. Home run. Julian Sacante, a 3-run home run, his second of the afternoon. His fourth RBI on the day. He has scored 3 runs. He has yet to make it out of the plate. Gloucester Catholic. So the little man, 5'6", takes the lead over Mike Ritchie. Yep, the team lead home runs with 7. He's going to bat this thing. He's going into just the area lead. Andrew Noah, I believe, leads. Oh, what's it? Something outrageous. That's great. We're talking about thank guys. Jameson Cloud, Andrew Noah is another one. That just illustrates Friedel walking the number 9 and the number 1 hitters. And you're going to get burned if you continue to do that. Obviously related to the game. Perhaps that illustrates why it was Benito getting the call as opposed to Friedel. Stepping to the plate, Velasca now. Fastball, this is downstairs. Velasca coming up for his 5th at bat here. Has thrown out, singled and scored, struck out, and lined out to the right field. And then Gloucester Catholic lost those 9 players last year. Like we're talking about retooling. Guys like Sakati and Daniels, Velasca, Rochi Lamb, where these guys were on that team. They were on that team, and they see how to conduct themselves in championship style baseball. And that's what they do. They just throw them in there. It's just their turn as juniors and seniors to step up and take that role of being a leader and just an outstanding baseball program. Right now, this is another hitter. That's 3 walks. The last 4 hitters. The only person he has walked in those last 4 is Sakante. Took him deep. That'll bring up Mike Rucci. Friedel continues to make life more difficult for himself. Coach is going up to talk to Friedel. Saying, all right, had enough. Comes number 4. That's good. Reynolds, the freshman's going to get his chance to come in and get a shot this game. We'll take a look at that. Reynolds, but first we'll step away for a break. You're watching Comcast Cable with Channel 43. Welcome back to Washington Township. Gloucester Catholic on top. St. Rose by a score of 10-1. Gloucester Catholic really opening things up these last 2 innings. Of course, the big blow, the 3-run homer by Sakati in this 7th inning. There's 2 outs in the inning with a runner at first base here. Freshman Reynolds steps into the game here. The first batter he faces is a pinch hitter. Mike Ritchie is Staffieri. Staffieri on the year is hitting 303. Shut on. Is it about 7%? Staffieri, senior. But this is nice for him to get in, get a chance to play, and South Jersey rookie be a final. Whenever he wants to be on TV, something to swung on and missed, and that will end the inning. So in the inning, Gloucester Catholic comes up with 3 runs to add to that lead. They're now on top 10-1, and that'll bring up for St. Rains the middle of their order. But they're going to have to bat everybody to get back into this. We certainly are. They're going to need to bat around and then some as they're down by 9 runs. Zola's, I'm sure, going to come out and finish the game. I'm sure he is, but he was Richard. He is coming into the game to close things out. It's Ricky Francesco, who's 2-0 in the year. He's pitched 13.2 innings, 29 hits, 19 earned runs, and busy. All right. He's getting a nice chance here to come in, get some experience for himself in a big game. We had an opportunity there to take a look at the ground that's on hand. A nice crowd once again here at Washington Township High School. So Gloucester Catholic, a local team, C. Rose, the Belmar coach. And he was not pleased with the fact that he was situated right outside Gloucester Catholic for purposes, but nonetheless, the game was here in Washington Township. A nice crowd on hand. It's award fans and filing in to watch the second platter. Earlier you quizzed me. You said if I got it, I I'm just like a around. No, you see, appreciate it because it probably struggled a little bit trying to do it myself. So it's not St. Joseph, it's Christian Brothers that got CDE. So you'll be back again either for the summer or next year as an announcer. So you got. Glad you got your fun out you get next year to call the games with us. Well, again, coming into this game, Gloucester Catholic certainly on a roll. They have won. They have not lost since a 3-2 loss to Shallon, a team that was well under 500. That really shook up this Gloucester Catholic team, and they've been riding high ever since. Talked about some quality against opponents. They lost to the Kings Academy 20-0 in the Florida tournament. Kings Academy, one of the best teams in Florida across the country high school. They well and only to his one game out of their next 17 games, 16 games. So after they came back to Florida together green season, said they weren't going to catch out in center field, still hustling, still going after it. It was a nice play, as you mentioned there, by the center fielder, Brad. Then still Brad Daniels out there who made a nice diving catch. Chris Benino starting things off, re-entered into the game, hit that line drive. It's been that kind of day for the St. Louis team. Just wasn't meant to be. Daniels, you saw just how quick he was, really closing on the gap. He went to one out here for St. Rose. They'll bring up Greg Califano. Popped down third baseman and struck him. And that's the kind of attitude right there, like Gloucester Catholic is balanced with. Because when you're out on the field, they play as hard as they can the entire time. They don't let up on teams. And they don't allow a team to get into a game. They finish teams off. And that's why here they're perennial favorites to repeat as champions and be one of the best teams in South Jersey. And understand. Califano fights on the fastball, but pops out to the shortstop. 2 outs now. There you take a look at Cody Dennis Bard. 1 out away from celebrating another South Jersey Parochial championship. Mentioned at the top, it's become pretty much expected for Gloucester Catholic to get here. Last 3 seasons, they have been in the finals. Again, this year, the record of 24 and 4, trying to make it 25. Swung on and missed here by Joe Gagg, the catcher. He has struck out his single. These guys will go play some on each team. We're going to have a couple of ancient games this year. All South back here by Gaggle. Very nice year here. This 2000 year here on Comcast. Back. Be back. The first game of the year will be televised at Glassbar Kingsway football game. It will be some great games here on Comcast. Still a couple left. We still have All-Star games on we televising. Adam Telephone Classic football game on the Clay Awards. 22nd, be able to see those awards. Comcast change this channel 43. All just misses. Gaggle still hanging at the plate here. They don't want to give up. They would like to keep this going and get himself on base. I personally want to thank all the crew members that have helped us along here. They a lot of mention, except their name to go across the screen. They really do a nice job bringing you the games, the action here. So, kids, no doubt about that. We certainly have a fine crew again today, and that's been the case all year long. Very fortunate to bring you these games here. A couple of Comcast down. Well, that's Tony Rob Gloucester Catholic robbed with the Parochial B. South Jersey champions once again. Well, inning it in style with a strikeout. Gingle strikes out to end the inning and end the game. And as you mentioned, Gloucester Catholic now finding themselves as the South Jersey Parochial B champions. The past years, they were the Parochial A champions, moved down in class. And here they are again. Story and the song remains the same. We will have some post-game interviews and a wrap-up right after this. Once again, Gloucester Catholic defeats St. Rose and Belmar 10-1 here on Comcast Cablevision Channel 43. Welcome back to Washington Township High School, where Gloucester Catholic has defeated St. Rose of Belmar 10-1. The South Jersey Parochial B Championship. We're here with Coach Dennis Mark. Well, first of all, congratulations, Coach. Another fine job. Now, you mentioned before, leading up to this, that it's the team that strikes out last that generally wins. You have to feel good whenever you have the Zoll on the mound.
Yeah, scared me a little bit before.
That it started game, said his back was tight. He's had trouble.
Get loose. We're a little short on relief, but he hung in there. He battled through the pain, and he gets a good game again.
I'm a consistent guy day in and day out. Well, we mentioned on the broadcast how Steve's really been on a roll since that loss to Shattuck. I mean, well, what did that do to the program?
I think it took
He had that message to kid.
up until then, they were trying to live up a little bit to last year's team, and then
We all said if you're enough to be worse, if also team was over their second year of the year. And truthfully, I didn't know really
the kid after that game.
we played that bad. It's just when the baseball happened. Popped up 16 times,
Just got under the ball. And
for a while after that. We did the same thing.
But once we started hitting some balls,
These balls started dropping. Of course, Shawn Leary's with a couple of players that gave today. But let's take a look ahead and here. South Jersey Group B, a little bit different for you the last couple of years in South Jersey Group A. How do you feel about the change, and how do you feel about your chances in this year's tournament?
I don't care if A or A. I think we would have a good shot at winning either one. To tell you the truth.
Right now, we're playing about
12 possible plays for the most part. I don't know how many games we've won in a row now, but
we've been getting pretty good pitch, consistent pitch, and our offense keeps
grinding out runs one way or the other. When we hit home or
trying to keep.
two big ones today,
Once we have
we're on the run a little bit.
so you mentioned you.
Runs, and defensively, we're getting better. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting better.
Well, you certainly have been playing well. Again, scoring 10 runs. Anytime you score 10 runs, you're going to be difficult to beat with that fine pitching staff. Congratulations and good luck to you, Coach. We're going to have Shawn Leary, who's with a couple of our players in the game. We have two players in the game. It was hard to choose between either one of you guys. So we had to go with these two players. And obviously, the one to left is Babe Saganti. Can't really jack the ball. Now you took over the lead in home runs over Mike Parochial for the team. I think you have 7 now. You were just feeling it today. We're going to have to play a little bit.
There's just 3 baseballs over the plate today. I mean, I've been feeling good all week. I guess towards the end of the year, I mean, everybody starts to come around, and I came around, and I got baseballs hit today, and I hit them, and I didn't miss.
You guys play it for 7 innings. Once you get into a game, you guys do not let up. Is that what this team does and how they accomplish because they go after plus? 7 innings and never let up.
Well, I mean, hard on 70s because, you never know what to expect. You can't do on these teams. Everybody can come back, so you always have to go hard 7 innings and makes us a better team, and it makes us play better during the season. It prepares us for these better games, which we're going to the finals now, so it prepares us for games like that.
What's fun, sweeter for you, this one or the one last year?
Actually, this one will probably be a lot better since it's my senior year. Playing with all my friends, so in my senior class, it's going to be a lot better this year, I think.
And jacking 2 home runs by. That's a curtain as well. Congratulations to you. And we're also here with Jeff Mazzola, who is winner of the game. This is your 8th win of the year. You're 8-0. You just don't want to lose, do you? That's right. Safety keeps the ball down. Big drill ball, double playing helped us out. I just, they were going to hit the ball. Everybody usually hits the ball. They're pretty good. Makes it easy for you when you have guys coming up scoring 10 runs. 2 years for this. They only scored 10. You've pitched in some really tough games this year. Washington Township here, Shawnee, Cherokee, Steiner. Does that gear you up for a game like this in the South Jersey final? Obviously, it has to.
Definitely. It's much easier to play these big games if you get a few under your belt. You're not all nervous. Just go out there and play. You practice 2, 3 times a day. So this is the fun. This is the fun. We've been playing good. He's one.
Well, you can celebrate a little bit. Congratulations on the South Jersey final. Well, Rob, the Gloucester Catholic reign of South Jersey parochial titles continues. The only thing I think, the only blemish really in today's game is Mike Ritchie's grandmother had a black eye after the game for getting hit, but by the ball. Thank God she's okay. She's going to get that looked at. But this team really, to lose 9 players the way they put together the year that they have to win the South Jersey final really has to say something to the coaching staff and the entire program.
They are just a strong program, top to bottom. They continue to
Get stronger as the year progresses. Today's outing was very impressive. Jeff was all really impressed. He got ahead. He worked effectively. Didn't try to do too much up there. He's got an excellent curveball, strong fastball. And they're going to be tough to beat the rest of the way. As we talked about in the opening, and I think that's the tale of the game. The one pitch was falling behind with hitters, and it really haunted him the entire day. But Sewell was able to get ahead of hitters, use that to his advantage, and it really makes the whole team surround you. When you get ahead of hitters, you're on the offensive side of the game. Score 10 runs. You're not going to have too trouble losing the game either, winning the game either. And the thing that really makes them impressive is, again, you knew they're good pitching. And, Coach Barth at the outset of the game talked about how it felt real strongly about his defense. But, again, relatively strong defense. But the thing that kills you, great speed, a great mix of power. You see a little guy like Brian Scott, 5'6", just pillaring the ball. But he's also got great speed. Anytime you get on base, be a walk, a hit, an error, a hit by pitch, it turns into doubles or triples. And that's going to be tough when you have a team with strong pitching that can generate runs and manufacture this. Speed, power, pitching, and defense, they had it all going today. Well, they certainly did, and it'll be interesting to see if that can take them to another state championship game. Well, it was a pleasure bringing you the South Jersey Parochial Beat Championship. I'd like to thank the entire crew, particularly our director and producer, Kevin Lemastro, everyone else here, Rob, Christ and Shawn Leary. Once again, it was the Gloucester Catholic Rams defeating the St. Rebels of Belmar. Actually, Reynolds is 10-1 in the South Jersey Parochial Beat Championship game. Good day, everybody.